welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Big welcome back to all of my beautiful returning subscribers, and a big thank you to everyone who has recently subscribed. Thank you guys so much for joining us, for becoming a part of our beautiful soul family here. If you have just subscribed, be sure to hit your notification bell and drop me a comment beneath any of my videos this month for your chance to win a free reading with me. I will be drawing another name today, so please drop your comment below and hit your notification bell so that if you're chosen the winner, I will be able to reach out to you and we'll get the ball rolling there. But thank you for joining me today. I do pick a card readings on this channel if you're just stumbling upon this channel for the first time. And today's pick a card topic is all about the person on your mind and their actions versus their true feelings for you. So how are they treating you in this connection versus how do they truly feel about you in this connection? We do have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the pink flower, pile number 2 with the white flower, and pile number 3 with the cream colored flower. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting today from Spirit, and my timestamps are listed below. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1, and again today we're looking at the person on your mind and how do they treat you, what are their actions towards you versus how do they truly feel towards you at this time. Pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1, you are drawn to the pretty pink little flower, and this is your reading, the person on your mind. What are their actions versus their true feelings towards you at this time? We have the card that you've chosen, and it is called the Remembrance card number 21, Resurfacing of Past Feelings and Emotions. And so there could be a lot of history here, a lot of nostalgia surrounding this connection, and perhaps a lot of unfinished business as well, maybe not a lot of closure in the situation. So you may be in no contact with this person, or perhaps limited emotional contact in the very least. So let's take a look here. And we're going to do a bit of a comparison spread today. I like to do that when we're doing a versus reading. So I'm going to start with their actions towards you on one side, and then we're going to look at their true feelings for you on the other side. So we're going to start here with their current actions towards you and what's happening in this connection. So what are their current actions towards pile 1 at this time, please? So we already have the 5 of Pentacles and the Empress coming out together. So we're going to pair those together over here. We're going to push it way to the side so we have lots of room. Now, this is why I'm feeling there's some sort of separation here, because it feels like both of you feel like you can't access one another, or there's this emotional destitution surrounding the connection itself. You can even see that the Empress, she's hiding behind a fan. And so I do feel like there is a limited access or limited contact, perhaps no contact at all. And I was just focused upon the log at her feet as well, and it's kind of been chopped off in multiple places, which means that perhaps we'd have to go out on a limb in order to have contact in some way, especially from the Divine Feminine perspective. But I feel like there's so much unfinished business from the past in this connection as well, and even lingering into the present. Oh, 10 of Swords coming out. And there's almost an addictive energy surrounding their actions towards you, but it feels very suppressed, like they're not showing anyone else how they feel. And it hurts. Like there's an aspect, there's the 5 of Cups. There's an aspect of feeling really stuck in this connection, feeling like they can't make any sort of momentum or move forward. It's like there's a lot of regret surrounding actions they didn't take or actions they did take towards you, and they still can't let you go in the present, truly. But I feel like there's no action towards you at all in the present, because even this Wheel of Fortune, it's like something is stopping the wheel from being in motion. And these scythes, perhaps both of you are in other connections at this time, because it's like there's going to have to be some sort of big sacrifice in order for us to move forward in any sort of way, because there's this reality check that seems to be limiting the situation. But the fact that they feel like they can't take any kind of action towards you in the present, that devastates them. They may not be able to show that to the world. And I feel like perhaps the Divine Feminine here is pretty devastated as well about the separation, or about what transpired between the two of you, or what did not transpire between the two of you, because I feel like there should have been way more that happened between you. And I feel you both know that. But we failed to do the work, Spirit says, in the past. So I feel like their actions towards you are exceptionally limited at this time. And they're sort of kicking themselves as a result of that. It's almost like it's so funny, they could cry. It's almost like it's like a bitterness, like a bitter, it's almost like it's like this person's smiling, grinning, almost like the Joker, but it doesn't feel comforting, or it doesn't feel. And there's the Ace of Cups. And on here's the Ace of, or the Queen of Swords. So you could be a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, potentially. There's a lot of air energy here. But this Ace of Cups, it's this aspect of wanting reunions, because when we combine it with the 5, that is the reunion of the 6 of Cups. So they're very, very nostalgic when it comes to you, which is perhaps why you were drawn to the Remembrance card. Because these two energies are very, very similar. Suppressed, half waist deep in water. Even this ivy that's growing around, it's like something that suppresses us or stops us from reaching out, stops us from implementing any sort of change. And this Ace of Cups has this little dragonfly sitting on the rim of the cup, and it's already survived the bullfrog, the praying mantis, just to get to the rim of that cup, and now it's raining. So there's so many challenges between the two of you in the present that would prohibit any sort of contact. And I feel like there would have to be a drastic change in direction. I do feel in the current, again, their actions and your actions towards them are very, very limited. And there's this feeling of wondering if we should let go in the present because of perhaps the years of separation that could be here, or could be represented here, and the very difficult nature that the difficult nature and the action that it would require to create any sort of change. But even look at the Ace of Cups, they're still heart eyes. The reality is that they're still sort of stuck on you, but they feel like they can't take any sort of action towards you at this time. So let's take a look here at their true feelings for you. And I do feel like their current actions really reveal a lot about how they currently feel for you. It reveals a lot of remorse, a lot of permanent type of love, truly, as well, with the 6 of Cups energy, with the 5 and the Ace. What do they truly feel, please, for pile number 1? The Ace of Swords. Now, the 10 of Swords represents a reality check that grieves them. This Ace is the next step in that realization. So they've had this epiphany when it comes to you, and it does sting. Queen of Swords. There is this aspect in the present that they really realize how they feel about you, but there's this, they don't know whether you've had the same revelation. They don't know if you feel the same way about them currently. And so now they're being very passive towards any sort of resolution or any sort of connection in the future until they get some sort of sign. It feels like they're wishing that the Queen of Swords here would make some sort of proclamation and express herself. And I was just focused on her boots here as well. And she's wearing this skirt that is see-through, and you can see it straight through into her boots. And so there's this aspect about wishing that they could see things from your perspective, and wishing that they could really peer into your soul. Because they realize in the present, their true feelings in the present is this aspect of revelation about, oh my gosh, like I was so close to having everything that I could have wanted. I was, especially in the past, they're like, I was so close to having everything that I could have wanted. And that stings when someone has that type of epiphany. We have the Temperance. They do, in the present as well, they do really hope for your happiness, truly. Like they care deeply about you. When we have the 6 of Cups, even the Remembrance energy, this represents a love that sort of separates itself from other experiences. This person has deep affection for you, and so they do hope for your happiness. And they haven't really given up on the ability to clear the air between the two of you. They're kind of hoping that ultimately they will have a chance, and they almost feel like they will have a chance to run into you, or there'll be some sort of serendipitous event that brings the two of you together. And it's like they're willing to be patient. They don't feel like they can take any sort of action towards you now without creating some sort of upheaval in your experience or in theirs, because I feel like there's both of you having moved into a new cycle in your life. And here's the Star. Aquarius is very strong here. We have the 3 of Cups and we have the King of Swords. And ultimately they do miss their best friend in the present. When it comes to their true feelings now, they do miss their best friend. And that feels like ultimately, if they could have you in any sort of capacity, they miss their friend. And it makes them feel vulnerable to feel like you're out in the world and you're on your own, and they feel like they're wasting time because they know that time doesn't wait forever. And so it makes them feel vulnerable with every passing year, I feel. How do they truly feel for pile number 1, please? I feel like they could watch you as well if they peek in on you on your social media from time to time. But I feel like sometimes that makes them feel insecure, makes them feel even more vulnerable, because we all share what we want to share on social media. And so whatever it is you're sharing could be very abundant. We have here light coming in the reverse. And they are lamenting the fact that they thought they had more time. I feel like they saw the light in the past. They always really had a clue about who you were here, but they didn't act upon it. And now it's like they're paying that price. They were wearing a lot of masks in the past as well, in an effort to keep themselves sort of protected when there was no protection. Because Spirit just showed me this as like one of those plague masks that the doctors used to wear, which actually didn't do anything to protect them from the plague. We have you are wrong. And they wonder if you feel the same way. And so now they second guess themselves, which I feel like kind of only contributes to the devastation that they feel within their actions, their limited actions. I think we should see other people in the reverse. I think there are other people involved. And I just want space. They want clarity. They want closure in this connection. And they want to know if you felt the same way, if this connection was as real for you as it was for them as well. Because I never imagined so much perfection. And now when they think about you in the present, they get kind of jealous a little bit when it comes to you. They don't feel like they have a right to, but they do get jealous when it comes to you. I am absolutely in love with you, 6 of Cups reversed, but they wonder if it's unrealistic or naive of them to think that you could feel that same way, or that you want the reunions as well. And there is this aspect about other people impeding any type of reunion and impeding any type of, and truly say, and this is really what they're saying, is that it's impeding this dream come true for them of these reunions. It's like this is getting in the way here of these frustrating delays. I just want you all the time, the 8 of Wands reversed. And I do feel like there's a significant space between the two of you as well. Their true feelings, please, versus their actions. Pile number 1. We have here impatience. And I do think about the 9 of, because this 3 wanted to come up reversed as well, that's this 9 of Cups reversed energy of I want everything now. In an ideal world, they wouldn't have to wait for anything. And they've contributed to their own impatience because they delayed any action towards you in the past. But they were focused on that rejection. They thought that they would be rejected by you. And that really played with their plans, because I feel like they made some sort of plan. And they really painted a picture in the past about that rejection. It's like they really played it out in their mind with this expectation that you would not feel the same way. Here we have the guilt. And that's really contributing to this message of the you are wrong card, because it makes them feel a little bit like a traitor in their environment, especially if there's other people involved on their end, because they can't seem to shake this connection with you. What are their true feelings for pile number 1, please? Whoop. We have here very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And they think about you enough that they almost feel like they're conjuring you up in some sort of way, but they're lacking the practical step in walking towards you. We have this could be the one and make the effort. They are coming in the reversal. It says you've already met the romantic partner you seek, and great love is worth the steps you're guided to take. But sometimes they convince themselves, but it's unrealistic, that you do not feel the same way, because that's an opportunity for them to procrastinate and to not have to act upon this remembrance, all of the resurfacing of emotions when it comes to you. This is applying a pressure for them to act towards this unfinished business. It inspires them to take action towards some sort of reunion, but that tempts them. She almost looks like she's dressed like a mermaid. It's like this temptation, and they fear that if they follow that temptation, either they'll be rejected again, or not. I don't want to say again, because I feel like they never took that shot because of that fear in the past. So this resurgence of fear about being rejected today is still present because they never conquered that fear in the past. But also there is this aspect of other people getting in the way and them convincing themselves that you don't feel the same way. We have here, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. And that's what I feel like is impeding any sort of movement in the future of this connection, because it does feel like they are unable to take action towards you. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 1. So if you're new to the channel, I do end each pile with a charm cast with these teeny tiny tarot and some charms that I've collected over the years. What was the very last thought the pile 1's person had about them in the bowl today, please? Whoops, 3. We have the 8 of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the High Priestess reversed. So the High Priestess reversed is someone who's blocking out the intuitive messages that Spirit's trying to impose upon them when it comes to you and this connection. So sometimes they are inspired to take some sort of action or to really reflect upon their environment and about what they're being offered in that environment as far as emotional happiness, satisfaction. And sometimes when they really sort of start to think about their environment, they feel very deeply dissatisfied. But some of that is a trigger because of what they feel like they could have had with you. And so they, in order to explore that, they would have to walk away from that connection. They would have to walk away from whatever is impeding them. And they are being really passive about that. There could be children involved potentially, because I'm really thinking about fertility with the Queen of Pentacles. They also don't know how you feel. Again, there's a lot of confusion between the two of you. So they don't know how you feel or what your perspective is about the situation. And they don't want to create havoc for your environment or to confuse a situation that you've invested in. We have the letter P. We have the letter S, P.S. I love you. We have a penny, and it is from 1999, I think, of communication. So there could be a long-standing no communication here. We have this Chanel number 5. I think of Chanel number 5 with this bottle with 5 on it. Separation, loss, regret. We do have the Empress with the starfish. I do think about somebody who has moved forward and started to heal. I do think of motherhood. We have the Star with the fairy, someone who thinks that you're unavailable or not attainable. It's like they wish upon you. We have the Spoon, spoon-feeding information and children. The Butterfly of transformation. We have the World, and there's an emphasis on the divine feminine here. So there's a really strong emphasis on the divine feminine wishing for closure. And we also have the divine feminine stiletto heel with the white, the black, and the white. And so this is a period of disconnect. And when we are in a period of in-between, Spirit encourages us to reflect upon our position and choose which path we want to take. All right, pile 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell and your like button if you do so that I can enter you and also contact you if you're chosen the winner. Be sure to protect yourself in the comment section, because there has been someone posing as the Tarot Cottage and offering WhatsApp numbers and soliciting readings in the comment section. They are in no way affiliated with me or this channel, so please protect yourself. I would hate to see you taken advantage of. But be sure to come back and visit me here on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You are drawn to the little white flower. And this is your reading. The person on your mind, what are their actions towards you versus their true feelings? You were drawn to the Moonlight card, travel, romance, and potential, number 36. So this is somebody who's holding on to this fantasy and this dream of you. They've suppressed their feelings for you in the present. Perhaps you've suppressed your feelings for them as well. And it does feel like this feels like you're not in no contact. It feels like you do see this person, but there's a lot of uncertainties, a lot of unknowns, and maybe some obstacles before the two of you can be together. But they fantasize about you. Perhaps you fantasize about the potential in this connection too. There is this feeling of wishing for this connection, or like hoping for this connection, or it's like a crush situation. So let's take a look here. We're going to start with what are their actions for you. We're going to separate this reading into little sections. So we're going to start with their actions. How do they treat you? How does pile 2's person treat them or act around them in the present? Just saw the 7 of Cups. We have the 9 of Wands. What are their actions towards pile number 2, please? The Sun. Hanged Man. There's a message coming through about them being kind of sarcastic and trying to be really funny or something. It's almost kind of an immature sort of humor that comes through a little bit. There's this aspect of the magician, this communication energy, and so I feel like they kind of talk a lot around you. Maybe some of the things they say are sort of a little bit immature, a little sarcastic. What actions please towards pile number 1? We have the 10 of Cups. And the Lovers. And I feel like there could be a lot of flirtation going on, and there's almost a frustration that the flirtation hasn't brought them into any sort of solution to this point. There's this aspect about certain things holding them back perhaps, but I feel like there's they attempt to flirt, or they attempt, but it makes them feel kind of vulnerable. It also boosts their ego a little bit, this perhaps back and forth between the two of you, because I feel like there's a very mutual attraction here. You have the Knight of Cups. And because they want you to like them. I feel like this could be a friendship, perhaps in the work realm here, or friendship in general. But I feel like they think you're really, really attractive. And I think it feels like there's a really strong flirtation going on. In the very least, they are generous with you in some way in the environment that they know you, because they want you to see them as a gentleman, or they want you to see them as a really good option for a potential partner. They're giving me this energy of like dolling themselves up, or making sure they look good when you're around, or it's like you make them really nervous, you make them feel insecure, so they would overcompensate perhaps with, you know, jokes or with talking, or maybe they overshare when you're around. It's like you make them kind of nervous. But there's this aspect of the two of you being mutually friends, mutually attracted to each other as well. And it's not just a friendship here that's going on in the present and how they're treating you, because the fact is that they would love to have more, but there is something getting in the way. Here at the 10 of Cups, this could be an indicator of children, family. So take that as it resonates to your situation. It may not resonate with everyone. But even with the Lovers, there's an aspect of decision and choices that have to be made between parties, for instance, or maybe just even them having the vulnerable strength to be able to come forward and say, hey, this is how I feel, because they feel really nervous around you. They feel really insecure. So even if they have no other people, they're just really anxious about how their feelings for you will be received in the present. So I feel like there's a lot of flirtation going on, a lot of mutual attraction, but I don't feel like they are fully revealing themselves. Like they're holding back from truly fully revealing themselves, because they feel insecure about what's going to be on the other side of that admission. So let's take a look here and see what is going on in the present and what is happening with their true feelings. How do they truly feel about pile number 2, please? Their actions versus their feelings. How do they truly feel? We have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords. I just heard that song where it says, oh no, I've said too much. I haven't said it all. We have the Three of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the King of Wands. They really feel like the two of you would, like, you look really good together, and you mesh really well. It's like they've clicked with you really, really strongly in the environment that they know you. It feels it could be work connection. But it's like the two of you you fit really well together. The Seven of Wands. And they find you super, super attractive. Almost to the point of a bit intimidating in how attractive that they find you. And here's the Eight of Pentacles. This Knight of Swords wants to rush into something with you, like wants to rush to a shift in your connection. And they want to take it from a friendship to something else. And again, perhaps in the work environment. And that could be the impediment. They may not want to create sort of any gossip in the work environment, because they're afraid of that consequence. They're afraid of creating conflict or confusion in that environment. They also get distracted easily by you in that environment as well. Here's the Eight of Swords. Back of the deck is the dream space. And I love that because we have the moonlight. You chose the moonlight and the dream space is your back of deck. And this is sort of a revelation, somebody who's fantasizing about you and somebody who is dreaming about what this connection could bring them in the future. Here's the Four of Pentacles reversed with the King of Pentacles. Now, I can't deny that sometimes this King of Pentacles, this person could be a Taurus, a Gemini, not Gemini, a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. Now, their position, they seem to be really concerned about that. So whether it's the workplace, whether it's at home, they're concerned about their position in the present, and that's what's really stopping them from taking any sort of action and building upon the connection that's already in place. They dream about it. They see so much potential in this connection to build upon what they already have, but they're insecure about that position, and they're worried about it because they keep saying that it's going to create a lot of change. And the Death with the Hermit, they wish that there could be permanent change in some way, but it's like they have to sacrifice something. They have to close one door on your connection, perhaps the friendship door, and open up something new. And that's what's really challenging for them, is to push through the obstacles to create more with you. But the fact is that, the fact is that it's worth it. Here's the Queen of Swords. I almost feels like if there's no one else involved and if it's just the work realm, they're just worried about people's wagging tongues. It's like they're waiting for the Divine Feminine to say something first. And we all want the other person to throw themselves on the sword so that we don't have to, because they really wish that they could be in a relationship with you, truly. How do they truly feel about pile 2 at this moment, please? I've been sending you messages in the 5D, and they do feel like they have been making it pretty obvious that they have feelings for you. You gave me that spark, and they want to explore that spark. They want to see where this spark can go between the two of you. I've thought about you spending time with my family and I. Don't think because we don't talk I don't want to, because we do, because I do. It's like they want to bring the clarity into the situation. And they may feel like they've been keeping you waiting from this truth, this admission. This is because I'm situating this karmic situation. But you will hear from me soon, reversal, and I was in denial. Because right now they are delaying any sort of clarity because they keep perhaps hoping that you'll say something, or they keep feeding into this fear inside of themselves. And this Eight of Swords, it's really important to recognize that it's not a true prison. This is somebody who is just afraid of what lies beyond their truth when it comes to you. And they have the wherewithal, they have the toolkit to remove themselves from that prison. But you can see this panda has to go out on a limb. He's also tangled up in this tree. So again, position seems to be a big issue with this person. I'm always reminded of you. You distract them easily in the environment that they know you. The thought of explaining myself and apologizing scares me. I don't want to see the pain I've caused in your eyes. And there is this aspect of them recognizing that they are kind of keeping you waiting in the present. How do they truly feel, please, about pile number 2? In the present, how they truly feel versus how they're acting. Finances and career are a factor in this connection. We have here passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy, and they are wearing a mask. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. So but it's almost like, I feel like it's very obvious, this connection. I feel like the connection and the attraction is very obvious. So as much as they're wearing a mask, I feel like that mask is filled with holes. If you're wearing a mask, I feel like your mask is filled with holes because they do fantasize about you quite a bit. What are their true feelings, please, towards, discovery. And there's the moon. There's the moon. And this aspect of this flower, it almost reminds me of some sort of lily coming up, wanting to explore not just the physicality of that attraction, but the spiritual connection that could lie beneath that really strong attraction, because I feel like you hit it off really, really easily, or there was an instant rapport between the two of you. And they want to see where that could go, because it's not just sparking a passion. It's not just sparking this Ace of Wands. It's sparking something more. But we have the Victim card and the Facade. So they are wearing a mask, but I think it's obvious between the two of you that there is something special here. And now we have the victim card coming out. And the victim card has the dragon and the squirrel. And the dragon is a symbol of the ego for me. And someone who is letting the ego fuel at them this procrastination tool of a victim mentality and saying, you know, you shouldn't take the risk because A, B, and C. When the truth is that the squirrel plants every seed afraid and then gets rewarded with an entire forest. And other people get to enjoy that forest as well. And so this aspect of isolation and them retreating, wearing the masks and not taking advantage of the connection itself, it's like they're contributing to their own loneliness. And so I do feel like they're fantasizing, but I feel like they may not take any sort of action here when it comes to revealing how they truly feel about you because of the complications that they keep building up in their mind. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. What was the very last thought that pile 2's person had about them in the bowl? Please. The Ace of Pentacles. They thought about telling you how they felt, perhaps. They could have had a conversation with you recently as well. There's the High Priestess reversed. Interesting because she came out in the reversal in the last spread as well. And here's the Seven of Swords. So the last thought that they had about you, there could have been an inspired thought coming from their higher self to say something to you or reveal something to you, and they really shut that thought down. They shut down that advice from their higher self really, really hard. They let fear take over. They are not honest with how they feel. It's almost like they're afraid to get caught for their feelings in some way, whether by you, whether by other people. It's like, what are the consequences if I get caught? We have the letter D. We have the dog paw, so loyalty could perhaps be an issue here. We have the Three of Swords, so there could be third parties, so take that as it resonates to your situation. We have here Aquarius energy, and we have the protection, or I'm sorry, the balance ring. We also have forever, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is really concerned about his appearances. Sometimes he's concerned about his reputation. He wants to be, when he makes a commitment, he wants to see it through. So again, there's workplace connection with him at times, sometimes responsibilities overall. We have angels watching over, and we have the dragon. So I really think about the ego. I think about Taurus energy as well. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. If it did, please drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell if you do so that I can enter you and then notify you if you're chosen the winner. Be sure to also protect yourself in the comment section from people who are claiming to be the Tarot Cottage and offering up WhatsApp numbers or cell phone numbers. That is not how. I do not solicit readings in the comment section, and I will not approach you in that way, so please protect yourselves. You can also check out my Etsy link for a personal reading if you feel called to, but I hope that you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you guys have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the cream-colored flower, and this is your reading. Their actions for you versus their true feelings for you. So how is the person on your mind treating you versus how do they truly feel about you? You were drawn to the Temptress card, number 15, seduction, deceit, and a broken promise. And when I think of 15, I think of the devil, and I think about the attachment energies and codependencies and lustful energy as well. So there could be attachments here. You could be a temptress towards this person, or it could be a reversal. They could be a temptation to you. So let's take a look here. First, we're going to look at how they are currently treating you. What are their current actions, please, towards pile number 3? And then we're going to do a comparison on the other side about their current feelings. What are their current actions towards pile number 3, please? Whoops. Queen of Wands coming out, along with the Four of Pentacles. I just saw the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles here as well. So this could be a work connection for some. Please take that as it resonates. I'm dealing with collective energy. We have the Ace of Swords. Back of the deck is the Four of Wands. I'm going to clarify this. What are their current actions towards pile number 3, please? The person on pile 3's minds, how are they currently treating or acting towards pile number 3? We have the Six of Wands. We have the Knight of Cups. He's sort of coming out sideways, so we'll place him like that. I feel like this person is sometimes really, they could wear masks around you quite a bit. Sometimes they act really nice around you, and they really care, or they seem to care about how you feel about them. And then sometimes I feel like it's almost like they are cold. It's like sometimes they're warm, sometimes they're cold towards you. We have the Hermit. Back of the deck is the Three of Pentacles, and there's the Five of Pentacles. I do feel like there's a really strong work or school connection here in some sort of way. And again, there's this aspect about this person being hot and cold around you. They're very attracted to you. They're very sort of intimidated by you. You could be a fire sign, a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but there's heavy masks being worn, I feel like, between both of you. And here at this Knight of Cups, normally the Knight, you know, he presents himself in a really gallant way. He wants to be seen as somebody who is kind and generous and you know, doesn't have a temper. But then he's supporting the Four of Pentacles. So there's this aspect of greed surrounding this piggy and someone who wants their cake perhaps and eat it too. And so it's like they try to present this all the time, but sometimes their truth squeaks through and they get a little bit, I don't know if they act grouchy or something, or just shy around you. It's like sometimes they're more vulnerable and sometimes they're shy. Maybe it comes across as a bit of a coldness at times as well. But again, it's not really a coldness. It seems to be like a shyness that comes through, but it may come across to you as they're being kind of standoffish, or they're one day they're, you know, joking around with you, or there's some more communication, and the next day they're kind of standoffish. But I feel like there's an aspect of shyness with this person, or insecurity overall. I also feel like they do feel a bit, especially if this greedy little piggy is in response to any sort of attachment that they are involved in, there's this aspect about them having to pull back because of this reality check. So maybe there's a flirtation in the work realm here where sometimes they're really more open towards communication with you, and then other days they just pull back because there's this reality check that kind of hits them. This Ace of Swords makes them retreat around you. But I feel like they're not always retreating around you. I feel like sometimes there's a lot of communication. Sometimes there's a lot of interaction. Then sometimes there's absolutely none. And it might be very confusing for you about how do they truly feel if this is how they act from day to day. But the reason why they pull back is because of this truth in their situation, or the truth in your situation, when it comes to your positions, when it comes to what they feel like they would be losing if they took any sort of action towards how they feel about you. Because this Knight of Cups wants to be seen by you and wants to be appreciated by you, but it would take a lot of vulnerability. And he's riding this dolphin, which is a symbol of flirtation and friendship. I don't feel like you're like a really close friend with this person in the present, but if you are working with them, I feel like some days you feel comfortable around them, and some days they retreat and you don't know how they feel and you don't feel comfortable around them. And the truth is that they do really like you. They do really like you, I feel, but you're this temptress, and they're afraid of that attraction. Yeah, there's the Justice. They're afraid of where that path would lead, and so they know that they can't take action towards you at this time. So let's take a look here on the other side and see. Whoops. How do they truly feel, please, towards pile number 3 versus their actions? We have the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups. Just looking at this person's tongue, it almost looks, and they're drooling. And there's two people here that have devil horns, and so I do feel like there is perhaps a temptation from both ends here. We have the Six of Cups on the back of the deck. We even have the Three of Cups with the Lovers, and the Lovers can indicate multiple people involved, and so having to make a decision. The Seven of Wands with the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Beasts, or I'm sorry, the Seven of Pentacles. Now, this Page of Pentacles, this person in the present, they see the opportunity here. They really do like communicating with you. And this Nine of Wands is them having had this feeling for you for a really long time. But if you look at this card, it's interesting because there's this moat around this little tiny island with a palm tree, which is a symbol of stability and commitments. And so perhaps there have been other family units here, other relationships. And so there's this aspect of this moat, all of this emotion, protecting the stability, but it's like you're on their mind. It's like you're on their mind. They want to take some sort of action towards you, but they can't because of other investments. And so the Seven of Pentacles is them pausing to think about that investment and about what they feel in that investment. Then we move into the Eight of Cups, which is not someone who's feeling really happy about the current state of affairs between your connection and your attraction. But they do feel like other environments that are not as fulfilling are controlling both of you. That's how they feel. Because both of these skulls in their hands, it's like both of you are involved. Perhaps both of you are tempted by the other, because there's an aspect of grief surrounding our situations. We have the Three of Wands. If you look at this Three of Wands, it looks like a bit of a triangle, almost like an umbrella that's going to be pushed up here. Back of the deck is the Sun and the Nine of Pentacles. And the truth is that like they think that you are very, very physically attractive. The Nine of Pentacles is someone who, you know, walks in a great way and presents themselves beautifully and works on themselves and is almost out of my league, way out of my league. It also speaks about position though. It's like that's the big elephant in the room. It's the workplace. It's the home realm as well. I don't feel like it's just a workplace issue anymore. I feel like it's the home realm. And there's this aspect about, you know, perhaps telling everybody that we're friends, or this just a casual sort of friendship, but there is the truth that sort of looms over the situation. And the truth is that they wish that they could manifest more with you. That's what they fantasize about, but they feel like their power is in another place. They've given their power to some other situation or some other realm. We have here Dagger, fear, worries, and tense situations. And I just saw the Bull, plenty of material things. And so that's what they're concerned about is tense situation in their investments, whether it be at work. It says you are on the road to success and family sorrow reversed. So I do feel like that is one of the obstacles to overcome, is this family sorrow or a commitment that we've invested in. And it just feels like they are, it feels like they are so tempted by this connection. And here, the way that they treat the situation is this feeling of like, oh, I just have to see through my responsibilities. But when we move into the true feelings, they want more. They want expansion. They want more out of this friendship, but it doesn't feel like a true friendship. It feels like an investment. It feels like an opportunity that they really want to shed some light on. But even here under the Sun, you can see the giant eye. It looks like a little devil running through with the Ace of Swords, which is the truth of the situation. And the Temptress with the Devil, it's like all these attachments are getting in the way. How do they truly feel, please, about pile number 3? We have, I'm sitting here adamantly waiting. We started with the Queen of Wands on one side. Here's the King of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. We have a very strong Leo energy here, Virgo as well. And this aspect about waiting for you to take action, or waiting for you to say something, waiting for their plans to be able to be accessible to them, because the Hermit is someone who retreats into plan mode. And you can see that he's got this big shell which is hiding all the secrets, which means he hides how he truly feels about you, he or she. I'm still trying to make sense of things, the King of Swords. It's like they know what they want, but they don't know how to get there when it comes to you. The King of Wands knows what he wants. He has a plan. He's focused. The King of Swords knows what he has to do to access that plan. But it's so much easier to just fantasize than to actually implement the plan. And it's being pulled in emotional different directions. It's easier to just stay put. But they are tired of holding back. There's the Four of Swords. But I also feel like they don't want to hurt anybody. I want to grow old with you. And the Ten of Pentacles is someone who has invested in creating something or building something, sometimes collaboratively with other people. And it's almost like they've started investing in something and they were waiting for it to be more emotionally fulfilling. And that hasn't exactly happened. It says, I'm a smug son of a bee. It's the Nine of Cups reversed, wishing that things could change today, but being frustrated because they know that they cannot. It says here, I'm not waiting a second longer. And it's supporting this Seven of Cups, this sense of a deep physical drive that's pushing them. It's like a pressure building under the surface. I think about volcanoes and eruptions, but this just feels so hopeless. It's like, if I follow you, I could lose so much of my investments. I could lose everything. And then we have, I wish I believed in me like you do, the Queen of Wands reversed. And I feel like if there's multiple temptations here, the Queen of Wands or the Divine Feminine isn't prepared to take any leap of faith at this time. And they may be sort of understanding or aware of that now is not the time for the Divine Feminine to take any sort of action. How do they truly feel at this moment, please, about pile number 3? Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking will bring you romance. But they're not thinking very positively when it comes to movement here. They feel like they could lose a lot if they access how they truly feel or let you know how they truly feel. Worth waiting for in religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path, and divine timing is at work in your love life. As I said, they've recognized that they cannot take action today, but they hope that there'll be another opportunity eventually. And the Hermit kind of holds his position. You know, he starts that planning phase. He grounds himself to start that next journey. So we have forgiving and learning. As you reveal and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. And that, I feel like, is what they're afraid to do. They're afraid to kind of face the firing squad. Perhaps both of you are in your respective environments. And we have here Faith reversed. And Despondence. Back of the deck is Completion. And the Completion card really mirrors the Death energy for me, about releasing old to allow access to the new beginning here. And as much as they're trying to hold on to faith that there could be more, they wish that they could have solutions today. I feel like they could watch you online and that gets frustrating for them too. But I also feel that they see you regularly, especially if there's a work connection here. They see you regularly and they don't like seeing you with other people or thinking about you with other people because it makes them feel very jealous, even though they don't really have the right to. I will say that this person does seem to gain a lot of their security or their sense of self from other people's opinions, which is why they struggle with revealing how they truly feel in this connection. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 3. Advice for pile number 3, please. Whoops. In the bowl, what was the last thought the pile 3's person had about them? We have the Fool. They were thinking about the risk it would take. I feel like thoughts of you and thoughts of the risk are their constant companion. It's like constant companion. They think about the truth. They think about taking a risk, taking on the opportunity. But they know that in order to access this opportunity, they have to face that temptation. And they have to break promises. And that's something that they are hesitating to do, even if it means more happiness for them. In the bowl, we have I and Y. We also have the Knight of Pentacles with the turtle on his back, so slow-moving energy and somebody who has made investments in their life. We have a paper clip, I think, of work connection. We have out. And I can sideways. So somebody who's not sure if they can take the necessary steps that they have to create change here. And here's the dragonfly, a symbol of transformation that we become hungry for. We have to change directions in order to access it. Here is the temptation of the mermaid, and it's the black mermaid, which means the temptation could lead us to old endings or old situations falling apart and new beginnings in this connection. We have always in my heart, so they're always thinking about you. And we have the sisterhood. I think about the sisterhood of traveling pants for some reason with that shirt. I think about a hospital nursing connection, and I think about a blocked heart chakra. All right, my dears, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell if you do so that I can enter you and also notify you if you're chosen the winner. You can also check out my links below for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. But I hope that you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.